Okay, here's a hot take. I think for the first time in a very long time, Samsung genuinely has competition in the Android ecosystem, and that is the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL. Now, I have been using this for the past week with the Galaxy S24 Ultra, and there are interesting similarities as well as big differences between these two phones. So which phone is the better phone, or which phone should you spend your hard-earned money on? Let's get into it and find out. Hey guys, my name is Salah, but you can call me KJ. First things first, let's start with the design straight away because this is what you look at every day. And in a world where the colors of smartphones are becoming more and more washed out, almost minimalistic in a way, the Pixels take a more colorful approach. Now the Pro phones come in 4 colors, the usual white and black. They also added hazel from the Pixel 8 and a new color called rose quartz, which is like a variation of the color pink. The better color choices in my opinion are the white and the hazel, which I both have in the studio. One of the more noticeable changes that I noticed is the back of the phone, and I have to give credit to Google for changing the design slightly to give their phones a fresher look. And I wish other phones did this, but when you think about it, there aren't a lot of ways or options when we are redesigning a vertical camera bar on the S24, for example. The new camera design is protruding a little bit on the 9 Pro XL. It also has an aluminum frame, a glass back, making it 2 times more durable than the Pixel 8 Pro. It also continues the trend of having a soft matte finish, which I love. The temperature sensor is still there. Remember that? Do you remember the Oh, it's just me? Okay, so no. All right. So they probably are going to take this off eventually with the next Pixel. Also, for those wondering, this does not rock on the table at all. It's flat all the time, so that is also a plus. And looking at the overall form factor, the 9 Pro XL is now square shaped with a flat display, making this similar to the S24 Ultra and even the iPhone 15 Pro Max. And I think this is the design language for flagship phones going forward till further notice. So one of my worries when this was leaked into oblivion a few months ago was how comfortable this phone will be, because a square shape can be a hit or miss. But I'm happy to say that this felt good when picking it up for the first time, and I think a lot of people will feel that way. It weighs about 221 grams, which sounds heavy, but the contoured edges makes it worthwhile. However, my hands did cramp up after a while or after a long period of use. I either switched to my other hand or I just dropped the phone entirely and just used my computer instead. So if you have smaller hands, for example, this is something to take note of. The right side has the power button and the volume button as usual. The bottom has a USB Type-C port that supports up to 45 watt charging, but we'll get into the battery specs and performance in a bit. We also have one area for stereo speakers. Previously on the Pixel 8 Pro, we had 2 slots, but only one side had sound coming out of it, so this makes sense all the same. Sound quality wise, they're very similar to the Pixel 8 Pro. They're loud, they're punchy, so I don't really have any complaints there. While on the S24 Ultra, from a design perspective, this is one of the better looking phones in 2024, and they didn't really change much with the S23 Ultra. But it does have a clean look, giving off that minimalistic vibes that I talked about. Now the camera sensors are vertical and the back has a matte finish that hides a lot of fingerprint smudges. The sides are titanium, but the corners are square and slightly more difficult to hold for an extended period of time. It doesn't help the fact that this is kind of a heavy phone. It is 237 grams, that's about 16 grams heavier than the 9 Pro XL. It also has a USB Type-C ports, stereo speakers which are on par with the 9 Pro XL. They get really loud with very good bass. The one thing the Galaxy S24 Ultra has over the Pixels is the S Pen. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, the S Pen is not for me. It is a very forgettable feature, just like the temperature sensor in my opinion. Obviously, it's not the same function, but it is in that gimmick bracket, but that's just me. As we all know though, design is very subjective and it is very clear in my community post that I did a few days ago. Some people like the Pixels, some people like the Galaxy S24 Ultra. I personally prefer the Pixel 9 Pro XL. The camera design sits well with me and it feels much more comfortable than the Galaxy S24 Ultra. But one thing that is not subjective is the display, and boy, do we have a battle on our hands. The 9 Pro XL has an improved super accurate display, and they're calling this their best and brightest and their most immersive pixel display. And when you think about it, they're not far off, because you're getting a 6.8-inch LTPO panel with an adjustable refresh rate that goes from 1 to 120 with peak brightness as high as 3000 nits. This is easily one of the brightest phones in the industry. You also have smaller and more uniform bezels, and in contrast to the S24 Ultra, that offers only 2600 nits of peak brightness. So in theory, of course, the 9 Pro XL should be brighter than the Galaxy S24 Ultra under direct sunlight, but that's not the case. In reality, they're about the same because of the Vision Booster feature on the S24 Ultra. Indoors, of course, the Pixel is 100% brighter than the S24 Ultra, but when in contact with direct sunlight, the S24 Ultra pushes its display to further compensate for the sun's reflections. The S24 Ultra and the 9 Pro XL are going band for band on the better display, and I think we've reached a point in the smartphone industry where the displays are so good we as consumers or creators can't really tell the difference. This is a side-by-side comparison, for example. They both look great, the blacks are black, the colors are accurate, and they're just pretty good to look at. So I don't think I can say one display is better than the other. Even how you unlock the phones are the same. The Pixel 9 Pro XL now has an ultrasonic fingerprint reader, so they have similar speeds in getting into their phones. Face unlock might have an edge over the S24 Ultra, but it isn't as noticeable. So I think for the first time, they're equal. Like bar for bar, they're on the same playing field, and that's kind of crazy. But do you want to know what's even more crazy? Getting me to 30,000 subs. We hit 20,000 recently, but the goal for the year is 30,000 subscribers. So subscribe and like this video, as this goes a long way for me. All right, let's get back into the video and talk about the battery life. And battery was on the top of the questions that was asked by you guys, and it's good. The battery life here on the Pro XL is really good. It is 5060 milliamp hours of battery and will easily get you through the day, and probably more depending on how you use your phone. This is even without adaptive battery and all that stuff, so I'm very optimistic that this will remain the same in a few months or the next coming months. Compared to the 8 Pro, this is having a much better start. So I was editing this video and I realized I didn't talk about the charging and how fast it can be, because Google said the 9 Pro XL can go from 0 to 70% in 30 minutes, which I decided to try. So I killed the battery and wanted to see if it was good or if it was true. It's not true. So it goes from 0 to 70% realistically in about an hour, maybe an hour 15 minutes, which is very disappointing because fast charging is what I was expecting. So this will give you the same charging speeds as the Pixel 8 Pro realistically. Of course, I tried every USB Type-C cord in the house and it gave the exact same results. Pretty disappointing, but I thought I should let you guys know before moving forward. With that being said, let's get back into the video. Now, the S24 Ultra, on the other hand, is phenomenal. It's still the battery champ for Android phones as far as I'm concerned. From day one, it hasn't really stopped or even slowed down. And I think the S24 Ultra is or should be the standard for Android phones going forward. The 9 Pro XL can definitely be that, but there is only one thing that may hold it back, and that is Tensor. So let's talk about the performance. The new Pixel series is powered by the new Tensor G4, which Google has said is 20% faster when web browsing and 17% faster when opening apps, which is true because it does feel that way when you're opening apps, and when you're scrolling, it feels smooth as ever thanks to the integration with the Pixel experience. They also increased the RAM this time around to about 16 gigs on the Pro phones, so you're going to get faster RAM management in gaming and other things. The performance has been good. In all its primary functions, it has done what it's supposed to do. How it impacts this long-term performance still remains to be seen. But as of today, as of right now, I really wanted this to be as good as the S24 Ultra, or even close enough that they go head to head. So some of the issues that I had on the Pixel 8 Pro still lingers here. There is still shutter lag that hasn't gone anywhere, so you can't really take multiple pictures at the same time. Processing is also slow. It takes a few seconds for each picture to come up. It warms up when you're gaming or having any extended period of use on social media or, doing other things, which I guess is every phone if I'm being completely honest. I put the phone through Geekbench just to see its raw power side by side with the S24 Ultra, And the results are almost laughable. And you know me, I hate using benchmarks for anything because benchmarks don't tell the full story. Benchmarks don't account for software integration. By the end of the day, numbers don't really lie. But what the Pixel 9 Pro lacks in power, it gains with software and AI features. And I just want to say, before we even move forward, Gemini Nano is not good. It is wildly inaccurate, and I needed something to be done about it yesterday. Now, during the keynote, it was said that Gemini understands your screen. Well, check this out.
This video, uploaded on August 16th, 2024, is titled Must Watch New Special Comedy Video 2024, Totally Amazing Comedy 2023, Episode 342, by Bidic Fun TV. In this 12-minute comedy video...
See what I mean? Surely, it's early days, of course, but it's not looking good, bruv. Now, in terms of AI features, you still have your older AI features like Best Take, Circle to Search, and all that good stuff. But this year, we have new stuff like the Pixel screenshots or the app itself, which is like Microsoft's recall feature that uses AI to track everything you do on your phone with screenshots, except this time it's almost voluntary. Now, if you want to keep track of something like an event you're planning with friends or a recipe to make for dinner, you can take a screenshot and then conversationally research or search for information later. This is a Pixel exclusive feature and will not be coming to any other Android phone. We also have the Pixel Studio app that comes installed with all Pixel devices, and with this you can create illustrations using text prompts, and it is done on your device, so if you're without a connection or even a slow connection for that matter, it'll still work. And it's pretty fast too. It takes about 4 seconds for everything to develop. I'm not sure who this is for, but we're in a period where everything just has to be AI. And speaking of, Magic Editor has a new feature called Reimagine, which you can also use text prompts to visually change what is in your picture, either slightly or drastically. Now, I've saved the best one for last, and this is the wildest one. It is inbuilt into the camera app, and it's called Add Me. This lets you take pictures without asking strangers to do it for you. You can take a picture, hand it over to your friend, and you step into the same place they were in. The Pixel then uses an AR overlay to guide the framing, and boom, it looks like you guys were together at the same time. Google still continues to blur the line between what is real and what is fake, but this time around, I think this has the best use case in my everyday life, because again, I'm the picture guy in all my groups, so this will definitely help out. So with all this, Google is still promising 7 years of software and security updates, which Samsung matched with the S24 Ultra. Now, while Samsung does have a few or good AI features that match the Pixel, I still think Samsung's AI or Galaxy AI has some catching up to do. All right, let's talk about the cameras. The Pixel 9 Pro XL's new front-facing camera is 42 megapixels, and at the back we have a 50 megapixel wide-angle lens, a 48 megapixel ultra-wide lens, and a 48 megapixel telephoto lens, which is arguably the same specs from last year. Now, while on the S24 Ultra, you've heard it all before, we have a 200 megapixel wide-angle lens, a 50 megapixel telephoto, and a 12 megapixel ultra-wide, plus a 10 megapixel optical zoom. Now, how do these two stack against each other? Generally, I prefer the color profile on the Pixels, especially when taking pictures with the front-facing camera, thanks to Real Tone. It gets my exact skin tone on most days. From the wide-angle sensor, the S24 Ultra is vibrant and more colorful compared to the 9 Pro XL that depicts more of a natural look. Samsung's picture profile always has more saturation. Some people love it, but I'm not a fan personally. They both have a telephoto lens and they're both good, but Samsung's 3x and 5x does do a better job than the 9 Pro XL, even with super res zoom and all that good stuff. Now, the ultra-wide lenses are pretty much up there as the same in terms of detail and more lights, and I can't really see much of a big difference. When it comes to video, on the other hand, the Pixel 9 Pro XL can now shoot in 8K with video boost on, which is good in theory. It is great, honestly. But in reality, it is not the most practical use for video because many people don't even remember that video boost is a thing, or many people don't even remember to turn on video boost. Added to that, it takes about an hour or even more for video boost to eventually work on the video you took. Who really has time for that? This was my biggest complaint with the Pixel 8 Pro. Just like performance, they're using software to supplement its shortcomings. I don't know, I feel like I'm ranting, but it's just really annoying. Whereas on the S24 Ultra, it is ready and on the spot. If you just use 4K without even video boost, then you're getting the same quality as the Pixel 8 Pro from last year, which is fine, I guess. It comes third compared to the 15 Pro Max and the Galaxy S24 Ultra. But it goes without saying that the Pixels just have better image taking capabilities. And with video, if you turn on video boost on, or even remember to turn it on, it does make a difference. But I will still put the S24 Ultra over the Pixel 9 Pro XL when it comes to video. So with all that being said, which Android phone is the right one for you? Price-wise, the 9 Pro XL is $1,099, which is a $100 increase from last year, while the S24 Ultra is $1,300 USD, and that is a $200 difference. And to some, that is a lot of money. Now, if you're looking for a great phone with a great camera, awesome display, good battery life, stylish design of course, and all the AI features that you can dream of, plus cheaper, then the 9 Pro XL is what you should get. But if you're looking for the best in class, the best performance with an S Pen and all that good stuff, then hands down, the Galaxy S24 is the better phone. But this is just one man's opinion, and I'd like to hear yours. Is the Pixel 9 Pro XL the better value or the better phone, or is the Galaxy S24 Ultra the king of Android phones in 2024? Comment down below and let me know. Thank you guys for watching this video. My name is KJ, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.